Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday morning, July the 11th. Powerful thunderstorms rocked the mid-Atlantic region and northeast U.S. last night. There were some reports of damaging wind gusts, especially across New York State, and even a few tornadoes were reported. A couple of them in southwestern New York, one in upstate New York. It looks like the high heat humidity of the past few days backs off noticeably today and tomorrow and even into the early part of the upcoming weekend, but the high heat will return in full force by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday in the Mid-Atlantic region and the Midwest. The threat for showers and thunderstorms much diminished today as well, but that returns on Friday and Friday night, and some of the rain later tomorrow night in the Mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. can be heavy at times. The cold front, main culprit of the thunderstorm activity last night, has pushed off the east coast, but we're not quite done with it yet. It will stall out today right along the eastern seaboard and act as a conduit for tropical moisture to ride up northward along that frontal boundary zone on Friday and Friday night. And again, that will result in more numerous showers and thunderstorms as we close out the work week. Some of that rain tomorrow and tomorrow night can be heavy at times. This is a preliminary report from NOAA's Storm Prediction Center for damaging wind gusts and even tornadoes. The tornadoes are shown in red, and again, there were 3 of them reported as of this morning. 2 in southwestern New York, 1 in upstate New York. Numerous reports of damaging wind gusts throughout the interior northeast U.S. and all the way really down to the D.C. metro region and the northern part of Maryland. Some strong thunderstorms produced some hail and damaging wind reports out across the middle of the nation. No tornadoes reported as of early this morning out in the heartland, but again, there were a few reported up across New York State. Well, let's get a quick update on the tropical scene across the globe, and really the main story here is how quiet it is, especially in the Pacific Ocean. We are almost at the midpoint of the month of July, and the Pacific Ocean, the largest ocean by far, and really the most important in terms of global tropical activity, remains unusually quiet for this stage of the tropical season. The only system showing up right now, the remnants of what was originally Hurricane Beryl, is now over the eastern part of the Great Lakes, and that's the only system. No named storms right now, not only in the Atlantic basin, but none in the Pacific Ocean area as well. And again, that is very unusual for this stage of the tropical season. Now, we'll look closer to home at the tropical situation. There is indeed a wave right off the southeast U.S. coastline. This has little chance of development of developing into a named tropical storm. However, it will feed some moisture up along that frontal boundary zone we talked to a couple of minutes ago. Feed some moisture on Friday and Friday night, increasing the chance for those showers and thunderstorms in the Mid-Atlantic region, in the northeast U.S., especially near coastal sections. Let's say the Delmarva Peninsula, New Jersey, can very well see some heavy rainfall later tomorrow night, and some strong thunderstorms. So yes, there is a tropical wave that will indeed produce or enhance the chance for some shower and thunderstorm activity on Friday and Friday night, and all along a stalled out frontal boundary zone. That frontal boundary zone will again act as a conduit for moisture to ride up northward along the eastern seaboard tomorrow. The remains of Beryl right here over the eastern Great Lakes, not moving. It'll just end up dissipating over the next couple of days. Well, now let's take a look at some forecast maps using last night's zero-Z run of the GFS. And once again, I like to take a look here at the total precipitable water anomalies. This really tells the story as to what's going on and what will go on over the next 24, 48 hours or so along the eastern seaboard. All the green here represents areas of above normal precipitable water. In other words, very moist indeed. You can even see the isobar pattern right here. The little kinkiness in the isobar pattern indicates where that stalled out frontal boundary zone. Again, that cold front was the main culprit of some strong thunderstorm activity late yesterday and again last night. It has pushed just off the eastern seaboard, has cleansed the atmosphere in the Mid-Atlantic region's big cities, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, of that high heat and humidity of the past few days, and it stays more comfortable over the next few days. But this is about as far as this system will advance, stalls out right along the eastern seaboard over the next 6 to 12 hours or so, and moisture will ride right up along that frontal boundary zone later tomorrow and tomorrow night. Now, let's watch what happens here. We'll kind of clear the deck here of my pencil drawing here and go forward. Now, notice the back edge of this green right here as of early this morning, right in this region right here, not too far inland. And then we go a little farther out in time. You see kind of a bulge starting to set up here. Remember, we saw this tropical wave right down in this region right here. There's kind of a bulge starting to set up in this green, the very humid air, highly anomalous precipitable water. It's starting to indicate kind of a backing to the north and west. And then we'll go out a little bit farther in time. But look at that. Back to the north and west, all the way inland. By the time we get to tomorrow morning, back into the soup here along the eastern seaboard. Won't be hot, but it'll be much more humid on Friday. Again, high temperatures tomorrow afternoon, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, likely in the lower 80s. More humidity, however, returns, and some of that is associated with that tropical wave just off the southeast U.S. coastline right now. Then we go out a little farther in time, and indeed stretches all the way up into New England. And again, this will help to result in some shower and thunderstorm activity later tomorrow night along the Atlantic seaboard. Some of that rain can be heavy at times. We'll have to watch for the possibility even of some flash flooding, because there may be some areas where the thunderstorms train. By that I mean they roll over the same spots time after time, and that increases the chance of some flash flooding. Something we'll have to watch out for later tomorrow night. Here we go into tomorrow night, and then by the early part of the weekend, it starts to shift to the east. Still pretty humid conditions throughout much of the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast U.S., so that cannot rule out some showers and thunderstorms on Saturday as well. Then we get into the latter part of the upcoming weekend, and things tend to dry out. In other words, the chance of rain will be much diminished by the time we get to Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday as well. Well, now let's take a look at the 850 millibar temperature anomalies. And again, a big change. The high heat and humidity of the past few days in the Mid-Atlantic region will be noticeably reduced today, tomorrow, and even into Saturday. Notice this cooler than normal air at the 850 millibar level across much of the interior Mid-Atlantic region as we begin the day here on Thursday, and across the Great Lakes and parts of the heartland as well, the central and northern plains, either normal or below normal. Now this keeps us certainly cooler into the weekend, but watch all the reds here. By the time we get to Saturday, you're starting to see some intense heat building back into the east. Here we go by Sunday. Look at all this out over the middle part of the nation, much above normal conditions, and starting to show up again and intensify over the eastern U.S. and California remains very warm indeed as well. And then by the time we get to Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, high heat and humidity return to the Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Northeast, and the Mid-Atlantic region. This is the forecast map of the 850 millibar temperature anomalies as of late Monday, way above normal. We're talking mid to upper 90s likely Monday afternoon for highs, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and that hangs on through Tuesday. But there is some relief in sight. I'll go a little bit farther in time. Here we are, the middle of next week, and quite an impressive cooler than normal air mass slides south and east from Canada into the Great Lakes region by the middle of next week, and that should continue moving south and east and reach the Midwest, the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeast U.S. a week from right now. This is next Thursday. So we have a backing off of the high heat and humidity in the Mid-Atlantic region, in the Northeast U.S. for the next few days. Then it returns in full force Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, but there'll be another transition by the middle of next week, so that a week from now, we'll get back into a much more seasonal air, maybe even a little bit below normal by next Thursday in the Mid-Atlantic, Midwest, and Northeast. Well, let's wrap up with the surface forecast maps, again using the 0Z conventional run of the GFS. And here we are beginning the day here on Thursday. Here's that funnel system right now. It has pushed through the big cities, the I-95 corridor region, just may go a little farther to the east, and then it stalls out. A little bit of a low pressure area indicated here by the isobar pattern here. That's that tropical wave. So again, this cool front that was main culprit of those powerful thunderstorms last night will be an important player over the next 48 hours or so. Let's clear the deck here and move forward here in time. And that stalls out, and notice already by this evening some heavy rain breaking out according to the GFS model right here across the eastern Carolinas. Again, a little bit of a tropical wave here, a little bit of low pressure showing up. It very likely will not become a named tropical storm, but it does provide some ample moisture for the eastern seaboard to get hit hard by some rain later tomorrow and tomorrow night. We'll go out a little farther in time, and here we go by Friday morning. Again, the possibility of some strong thunderstorms, some heavy rain, especially over those nearby the coast areas like the Chesapeake Bay, Delmarva Peninsula in general, southern New Jersey perhaps. And here we go into the day on Friday and Friday night. Again, some of this rain right in this part of the nation here will be heavy at times. And we've talked about at length the kind of the desire for some more soaking rain in the Mid-Atlantic region, for example. Lots of lawns have turned brown. Many areas finally got some decent rainfall last night and will again on Friday and Friday night. Then we go into the upcoming weekend, and this system with even a little bit of a closed isobar right here. And this is again a little bit of a low here, that tropical wave just off the Mid-Atlantic coastline by the early part of the upcoming weekend. There still will be enough humidity in the air for the chance of showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, not as widespread as what I expect to see on Friday and Friday night. And then we'll get into the latter part of the upcoming weekend, and things tend to dry out. Here we go by Sunday morning. Relatively rain-free conditions on Sunday in the Mid-Atlantic, in the Northeast U.S. Kind of a warm front pushing off to the east of that low pressure area right here, moving to the north and east, and this will allow for the return of some high heat and humidity later Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in the Mid-Atlantic region. This could be record-breaking type heat in that time period, again Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, perhaps into Wednesday as well in the big cities along the I-95 corridor region, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. There is some relief later next week, though. We saw that earlier here, and here we go again. Maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm, but largely rain-free in that hot period Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then we go out into the middle part of next week. Here's Tuesday and then Wednesday, and there will be a frontal system right in here. And again, we have this cooler air mass anchored by a Canadian high pressure system by the middle of next week. That high dropping down from Canada into the northern plains. There will be a frontal system driving to the south and east by the middle part of next week. And we go out a little bit farther in time, and indeed we should have fairly decent air mass in place by a week from right now. This is next Thursday, July the 18th. So interesting weather over the next several days. We have a backing off of the high heat and humidity for the next few days in the Mid-Atlantic region. It returns in full force Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, potentially some record-breaking heat in that time period. Then a transition in the middle of next week back to more reasonable temperatures about a week from now, let's say next Thursday. As far as rain goes, the tropical moisture along the eastern seaboard will ride along that stalled out frontal boundary zone and reintroduce showers and thunderstorms into the picture on Friday and Friday night. Some of that rain can be heavy at times. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.